this list of industrial rock classics that define the 90s falls on the popular side. These were the bands who turned dance floors into mosh pits. By nature, industrial rock is a cage match between man and machine. Pummeling beats, juddering noise, and a decidedly pessimistic worldview made for some of the most caustic and enduring music of a generation. You have to remember that in the 90s, not everyone was listening to Pearl Jam. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to APTV and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. And check out the link in the description to the Spotify playlist featuring all of the songs on this list. 10 industrial rock classics that completely defined the 90s. Number 10. Front 242, Rhythm of Time. This acclaimed Belgian unit were a cornerstone act of the legendary Wax Trax label. While bands with guitars brought the rock suffix to industrial, Front 242 doubled down on the synths and vocal samples instead. Rhythm of Time comes from their 1991 major label debut, Tyranny, for You, and it still brings the fear without any strings attached. But even after getting this track placed in the psychotic roommate movie Single White Female and a stint on Lollapalooza, Front never got the major consciousness that their colleagues did. Fortunately, they have a number of industrial rock classics in their body of work. Number 9. White Zombie, More Human Than Human. Industrial rock purists may bristle at the inclusion of the 1995 White Zombie mega hit, but this one still grooves harder than the entire nu metal scene that soon followed. Rob Zombie growls the motto of the Replicant Factory from the movie Blade Runner, as the synths and slide guitar drive the track. The legend goes that once Zombie and producer Terry Date finished the final version of the track, some other band members were not impressed. One member allegedly commented that it was a great song until they, quote, put that wimpy Depeche Mode crap on top of it. The album this track is on, Astro Creep 2000, would be the band's last. Number 8. Machines of Loving Grace, Butterfly Wings. While we were waiting for Reznor to get that second full length out, a couple of bands came to fill in the void. Admittedly, most of them were uninspired, not Machines of Loving Grace. Tucson, Arizona's entry in the industrial rock sweepstakes had some great songs and an aesthetic that was accessible. That was considered anathema in a genre that constantly had to be full tilt to the extreme. But Butterfly Wings from their 1993 release Concentration is, for all intents and purposes, menace you can hum to. Number 7. KMFDM, Juke Joint Jezebel. In 1990, Hamburg, Germany's KMFDM got on the greater industrial rock radar with the single Godlike, which sampled Slayer's Angel of Death. But Juke Joint Jezebel is a sonic pinnacle for the outfit. It's the first church of rivet head culture. The alternating vocals of Jennifer Ginsburg and Raymond Pig Watts are front and center with gospel choir vibes in the refrain. Add in some sinister percolating synths, and it's an amazing juxtaposition for the ages. The album it's from, Nile, belongs in the pantheon of industrial rock classics. Number 6. My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult, Sex on Wheels, Cool World Mix. My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult never met a taboo they didn't want to smash. Sex, drugs, and industrial rock and roll was their stock in trade. This sleazy track from their 1994 release, Sexplosion, ended up on the soundtrack to the adult animated film Cool World. We're pretty sure we've heard the screeching car sound effects from the classic cartoons. Number 5. Revolting Cox, Let's Get Physical. The legendary Ministry-adjacent supergroup banged out a murderous version of Olivia Newton-John's 1981 hit, but the publishers were not pleased. A version with different lyrics made it onto the band's 1990 platter, Beers, Steers, and Queers. But there were some white-label 12-inch pressings that got out into the world. Decades later, the original Revco version made it onto a comprehensive 2018 box set, collecting all of Ministry's side projects and demos. It's also much better than their take of Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy from Linger Fickin' Good. Number 4. Frontline Assembly, Mind Phaser. Frontline Assembly's 6th album, 1992's Tactical Neural Implant, has received praise from the oddest of quarters. It's truly an industrial rock classic. In the early 90s, you couldn't walk into an alt-rock goth club without hearing the urgency of Mind Phaser booming at you. Frontline Assembly are still bringing the fear with frontman Bill Lieb and Reese Filber at the controls. Number 3. Skinny Puppy, Spasmolytic. The unit helmed by charismatic frontman Nivek Ogre and synthetic genius Kevin Key were not big on high BPMs. Most of the time, Skinny Puppy were always seeking a slow-motion apocalypse. But this frantic track from 1990's Too Dark Park felt more like amphetamine jitters than the kind of doom that was their stock in trade. Like Ministry, Skinny Puppy have been massively influential to musicians in and out of their realm. What's also admirable is their desire to keep up with the continuum of electronics-based rock realm. While major sales accolades have eluded them, the measure of Skinny Puppy's influence will be eternal. Guaranteed. Number 2. Ministry. Just One Fix. Let's face it, everybody on this list owes something to Ministry's Al Jorgensen. The multi-instrumentalist and producer practically invented the genre, destroying guitars, studio monitors, and minds in the process. 1992's Psalm 69 is loaded with tracks that will turn any hipster dance club into an abattoir. On this high-powered riff fest with a lesson, Ministry were joined by the late writer William S. Burroughs, who brought an unnerving croak and his shotgun to the proceedings. The result ended in the band's only platinum record, and number 1, 9 Inch Nails' Closer. Everything surrounding 9 Inch Nails' majestic 1994 release, The Downward Spiral, was seemingly stamped zero commercial potential. And then it sold 4 million records in America alone, and became an industrial rock classic. Here, Trent Reznor knocked down the wall of guitars and created a stack of vintage synth grooves that ended up in high rotation in gentlemen's clubs and commercial radio. And Reznor's vision for the track did not stop at the songwriting. Closer may very well be the most beautiful and disturbing video ever made. This is what perfection sounds and looks like. Thanks for watching APTV. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel now to see all of our latest videos and updates.